Trust me, we don't want to lower the last entry point. We want it to be just a little bit higher. If it goes down just a little bit higher, instead actually right here, might even be turning. But
hey, my average is 56 also.
I like to be patient though, and I like to wait for the right setup. If it doesn't give it to me, and even if it turns here and I miss it and I miss $100, oh well, because I know that I'm playing to what I'm comfortable with.
Guys,
if it goes all the way almost back down.
May I add something as far that will explain what's going on as far as what we're seeing with this red candle, please?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So earlier, like about an hour ago, I think his name was Rick, was explaining like the order book and the spoofing. That's what they call spoofing, right? When you see the orders below or above, and you have a perceived notion that there's a wall or there's support or there's a resistance. So when you see that, for example, we saw that it went from 53 and it went down to 49. So 52 and 51 didn't hold for more than 30 seconds. And then you saw the bounce back up. All of the orders, the pending orders that you saw there, were pulled as the selling pressure came in. That's exactly what Rick was talking about. So that's the spoofing. You had perceived support, and that obviously wasn't support because those prices didn't even hold, like I said, for more than 30 seconds. So that's what you have to understand about the order book. Not everything that you see there is true. What's the most important thing is the volume that's coming in after you get in, and obviously the distribution of the coins that are being bought and sold. But don't weigh too much into like walls and stuff, because that can all change by simply canceling the orders, and you saw it there. 51 and 52 is not holding for very long.
Yeah, but you also see this
stocks all the time.
You
Press to talk.
I said you always see this happen around the same time, 5:30.
Push to talk. So if anybody's wondering, YouTube got restarted again. So the old live stream that Tame just started was shut down, and there's a new one, just in case you're wondering.
I was saying around 5:35, it always does something funny.
So if you say around 5:35, then what is around 5:35? U.S. market closes. U.S. market closes at 4 p.m. Eastern time. So you need to compare. You take a journal and you start writing everything, all the tendencies, because I have more than 16 years in this. I'm almost 40 years old. Okay, I started this when I was like 22. So you write down every tendencies from times to drops to things like when it's price, when you're waiting for high impact news, look at the volume and look at the formations that you always see before him, high impact news, and you start keeping a journal. You'll notice that you hit it more times than none, but you have to keep one yourself.
Can I ask Goof Off Goose why you said later tonight? Like, is there something happening tonight with Ethereum?
No, with Doge, because I saw it dropping when you were saying that. And that wouldn't have been the time I would sold Doge. I would sell it later when it goes back up, because it will, and then scope out Ethereum.
Oh, I wasn't saying sell my Doge. I was saying I was gonna sell off my Ethereum. Did you think I was saying?
Oh yeah, Doge? No, I thought it the other way around.
I thought so too.
No. I wasn't saying I was selling my Doge. I was saying if there's a head and shoulders forming in Ethereum, that I was gonna sell my Ethereum and put it into different assets. But as far as Doge, I'm holding right now. I mean, I think it's going to continue.
Okay. Yeah, quick question. Is Rick here still?
No,
he went to go get coffee.
Is Adam or Tame or anybody here?
Negative. Adam's at a restaurant.
I just got back. Sorry, my power just came back on.
So, quick question about that huge dump. It's like amazing. I just had to go somewhere and I had to get in my car. But that dump, was that just a bunch of cells on the order book? Because I can't see anything.
Sir, all the movement that you see, this is what you guys need to understand. You guys are forgetting this because we have bias towards the coin. Listen, if the world stops today and no one trades Doge, it will not go up nor go down. So when you see massive drops, like you see 6 cents, 7 cents, it means that everything you saw in the order book, and this is what I've been saying since day one, it's not real. What's real is what happens in the moment. Because like Rick said, they can spoof it. You do the same thing with stocks. You have $10,000 in Ameritrade. You take a penny stock. You then route your 10,000 through 8 different market makers. You put them on the bid, and then you put a fake volume, and it looks like it has a whole bunch of support. And then when people start hitting the bid, and it gets close to your time to fill, you cancel. And then you create a humongous gap, and that's why you see the price go. It drops quickly.
Yep.
So is that the same thing that happens with that, like with those huge buy pressures? Basically, the opposite way around.
Sir, literally, that's exactly what's happening. Everything else that we talk about is just like what we would call fluff. It just makes us feel comfortable at holding at night. But what we cannot see is the volume that's coming in. That's why any indicator can never tell you what's going to happen on the next 1 minute candle. Everything happens on the start of a 1 minute candle. Whether you're looking at a 1 minute chart, 5 minute chart, 3 minute chart, 15 minute, 1 hour. Everything starts on the 1 minute. When a new 1 minute candle starts, that's when you get that humongous boom. You can prove it by looking at the big humongous candles and looking at the timestamp. And notice when you see that boom. That boom happens at the start of a 1 minute candle, not in the last 10 seconds, never.
Thanks so much, Alex. That is so true.
Yeah,
that was really good. I liked it.
I've seen that before in real time happen, but I've never really thought about it until you just said that.
So the thing is that you guys are at a handicap. That's why I wish you guys were all overseas and you guys can trade using MT4, because the things that happen to you guys would never happen to us. Like you put a pending order and then it like skips you and then fills. I'm like, that's used to happen to me in stocks, like in 2006, 2007. We are in 2020, bro, 2021. That's unacceptable, especially considering the fact that when you are buying coins, you are buying a freaking digital version of it, and they don't even have to hold it for 3 days or 4 days like they make you guys hold, like the round trip rule. That's crap.
Thanks for the insight on that.
Yeah, man. Thank you for that.
So then basically, like you were saying, those TAs are fluffs to make us feel good, but what would be a sustainable resist? Well, no, I'm not saying like all the TAs. I'm saying like, you know, for the moment. But like what would be a sustainable resistance point, an actual legitimate resistance support for Dogecoin right now?
No clue. I mean, like my mentality when I look at a chart is much different than Rick's and everyone else's, right? So I can't tell you where the support and resistance is going to be, because I know that the volume that's coming in right after my conversation is what really matters. Like, honestly, if you knew that it would drop 6 cents before it would go up 2 cents, why would you hold? You would short it, or you would close and let it drop and then buy back in. Everyone knows that. You understand?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, so it's like if you knew for sure, then you wouldn't. I mean, like, that's why it's like earlier someone said, someone got mad like in the chat when they said shorting. Bro, it was at that time, it was at like 48, 49 cents. Shorting, there's no more risk on the short side than there is on the long side. That's one of the biggest fallacies that you could ever have. You are not taking any more risk by shorting than you are by longing. Right? You are technically doing the opposite of what you would do when you would buy the shares, when you want it to go up. When you short the shares, is because you have someone that's on the bid that didn't get filled on the ass, that wants to get it, that wants to get out, right? They are giving.
I got some good movement.
When it drops and you profit, you then return the shares or the coins on the ask. No, I'm on the laptop.
I think you need to send him a headset, Dame.
Yeah, it sounds like he's in
he
a
deserves
vehicle.
it.
No, I'm outside. That's why. Hold on.
Well, if it's not being outside, then it's the dogs. You know, you got those crazy dogs. Where are they? Alex, your dogs, did you put them outside or?
Yeah, I have.
It sounded like they were attacking you, man. I was worried. I was about to fly to Panama to save you.
Yeah, it was 3 o'clock. It was 3 o'clock in the morning when you heard those crazy dogs barking. So
And you were hilarious, man. You just kept on explaining whatever you were talking about, and everybody else is going, "Oh my God, the dogs! Make them stop! Make them stop!"
Bro, I made a huge mistake.
What happened?
I went to go sell a dip, and I wasn't looking at. I was trying to hurry up, because I didn't put a limit in, so I was gonna hurry up and try to catch the dip. I put a limit in to sell all my Doge on accident.
Damn.
Oh.
That ain't shit, man. We'll buy back in and get back up.
No.
Dude, I wish.
Can I share something real quick? Robinhood really did me dirty. I had I was driving and working.
Okay, wait. Hold on. Before we do that, we've already talked about Robinhood before. We're gonna have to drop that down to another channel because it just starts a whole firestorm of people mad at Robinhood, and it
Guys,
just.
if you
I'm
wanna
so
talk about-
sorry.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go to movie time.
I just got back on. Sorry, I was driving, couldn't stop.
Okay. Yes, thank you. Next subject.
This dip going on. What in the world?
I wish I would have had more money and freaking typed in because I'd have put all in on that dip.
So, can I?
This was like my first big successful scalp. So I'm super happy right now, guys. Thanks so much.
My push to talk stopped working. I'm
Great.
really not.
Bruce, you sound kind of low. Like I don't know what's going on with your volume. I can hear you. It just sounds kind of low.
Is that okay? Is that
Yes,
better?
a little bit better. A little bit better.
Noise suppression. I'm kind of confused as to why everybody's so surprised about this dip. We've talked about retracement for days and days, and we all saw how fast this thing.
Push to talk.
Talk on.
This is a good thing. This needed to happen if you guys want to push up past 60 and stay. So just buy back in.
Hey, can I say something to you real quick? To that gentleman that just said I should have went all in on that. Please don't do that. Please, if I give you, never go in all in. Please, I'm asking.
Goose,
no matter
go
how
ahead.
much
Continue.
you can see it coming, don't go all in.
No, I thought.
Hold on, stop, gentlemen. Goose, were you? So one thing, she was in the middle of talking, and you just started talking. Goose, are you sure you don't want to just complete your thought?
Yeah. My push to talk won't stay going, so I want to keep cutting off my sentences. I was just saying, you guys just need to think back to everything that we talk about when we talk about retracement. With Rick talks about
push to talk.
All comes back to that it was going to go back down. So now's a great time to buy because it's retracing, it's building strength, and it'll go back.
Second entries.
So what I was talking about though was that big there was a freaking it went down to 497 and shot right back up to 55. That's what I was talking about. I wish I would have went all in on because clearly there was some maintenance on some platform that caused that huge dip and then the huge spike right after. That's why I said I wish I would have went all in because I would have caught all in right at the bottom and then sold right at the top.
But you should really create rules for yourself and stick to them. That's all. I'm just about minimizing risk is how I play my game, and it works very well if you do it that way.
Yeah, we can't.
Guys, I have a question.
Yep.
Go ahead with your question.
Yeah, are we waiting for 0.50 or 4.5?
No, 4.9 already happened.
What?
Tracing back up.
Did 4.9 happen on Robinhood or something? Because I'm not seeing 4.9.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
To the lady that's regulating this channel, I just want to say I fucking love you. Great job.
Love you too. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, right now I think we bounced off. I mean, I guess the 4.9 is kind of low, but what I'm looking at on TradingView, it looks like we bounced off the secondary resistance that we had underneath. So we were in the wedge and we kind of fell through that resistance that we were riding on for a while down to a parallel resistance right underneath of it. So we bounced off of that, and I think maybe we'll come down and retest it again. The 200-day moving average as well on the 5-minute, I think, is what we bounced off of. So.
Hey guys, could I please ask?
How do we look going into the evening?
Hello.
I think
try not to talk over the guy was speaking and then you talked over him asking a follow-up question. So
it's all right. Sometimes like there's a delay and stuff. Just try and be respectful.
No doubt.
I guess the sentiment, the general sentiment is like pretty bullish in here. I'm pretty sure most people think that this is a good thing and we're going to continue on our journey upwards. So that's what.
This thing is being accepted more and more by more and more people for payments as well. So it's gotten even more legitimacy. So it's no longer a hype train without tracks, in my opinion. It has traction now.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to look at this a little bit longer as well. Like when you zoom out a little bit and you look at like the 4-hour chart, we're like blasting away the 50 and the 200-day moving average right now. So at least in my mind, I'm waiting for a little bit. There's definitely a possibility that we pop up, over 60, 70 cents, based on what we've been doing. But there's also the possibility that we retrace back down a little bit and even dip below 40 over the next week or two, just to fill in those gaps that we're blasting off from right now. I don't think that's a long-term problem. I think that would be a healthy thing.
I agree.
I've even got buy limits underneath to prepare for that.
Yeah, I think I'm looking at like what would be an ideal get back in zone for me would probably be like 35, maybe a little over 35.
Right after SNL, it drops to 10 cents right after SNL. That's when you get in.
Yeah, I like front running my stuff a little bit. So if you think whatever number is your bottom, you can front run it to kind of make sure you get in. Sure, you'll go red, but if it will go back positive, why not get in a little early?
Right. Yeah, just looking at the 4-hour, like I have a feeling that eventually we're gonna come back and test the 200-day at least at some point in the next few weeks.
I feel we're gonna consolidate up here and then move around like we did last time.
Are you thinking this, like, in your opinion, are you feeling like this is going to happen before Saturday? That's why you're not getting in right now? Or are you just saying, like, in general, you think that this is going to happen? Because we didn't even come back to test the 200-day moving average after, like, the first time we hit an all-time high at 44. Like,
yeah, well, we did. If you look at the wick on the 4-hour, we actually dropped below the 200-day. When it went down to 14, we just like kissed right under the 200-day right after that big spike. So
on the 4-hour?
Yeah, on the 4-hour.
Maybe you have a different chart than me. Mine's only going to like 16 cents. So.
Oh yeah, I see.
The 200-day is at 12 cents, right underneath that wick for me.
I see. Well, yeah, I'm definitely confident for long-term growth, but I'm not. I don't think that this is going to happen before the SNL stuff, or even necessarily right after. Obviously, it's all speculation, but I'm really thinking that we're going to come back and do a little bit of consolidating in the 40s at least.
All right.
I do too. I think it's going to work its way around and feel for a consolidating level, whether that be here around 50 or in the 40s.
Well,
but I could be wrong.
That happened tonight.
My original
yeah, it's always good to hear like different viewpoint. I hope that that's not true, because honestly, I want this thing to ride till Saturday, at least.
So my viewpoint is like what you're saying. I can see that happening to like a lot of altcoins, but I feel that DOGECOIN has so much more momentum than any other cryptocurrency that it's really like unpredictable in terms of what to expect in terms of other cryptos. I think that we are gonna like just keep going up, and I don't think we're gonna see 40 cents for a while. My personal opinion. I think if we do get a retracement, it'll go down to 40 cents, but I I see this going more towards like 80 cents and then dropping back down to like this level to consolidate and then going back up.
That's
just my viewpoint.
I'd have to say I agree, just because of like usually like when things go parabolic, especially like where we're at right now, they just continue to get more and more parabolic every step of the way. So like I don't really see it going back down to 40 right now either, but it is good to know that that's a possibility, because I definitely can see how it could happen. I just think that if it did that right now, it would stay down there for too long. Like it wouldn't make sense to me, I guess, personally.
Yeah. I think it might take some time if it is going to happen. Like with all the hype that's going on right now, it's definitely like I wouldn't be surprised, to see that 69 number. I really wouldn't.
Just be careful though. It has gone down there in the past, and it stayed down there for a little bit to that significant dip in the 20s.
Isn't this just a normal price action? That's like
yes,
it's just going across the board with Ethereum and the rest of them, man. I don't think this is anything to worry about right now.
Right, but no emotions. If it goes down in the 40s and sits, it might, but don't pull.
Yeah, don't be afraid.
You're gonna regret it if you pull.
Yeah.
You know what? It's gonna be some pretty negative numbers for a little bit, but the people that pulled when they were in the 30s going down to the 20s and the teens all learned the lesson really quick.
I learned the lesson already, man. So yeah, I'm holding if it goes down.
Yeah, that's why I'm not in right now. Like I would rather wait and see where we consolidate at. What's the amount of growth that's happening right now is insane, and I can't expect it just to do that every day, or like every week. It's going to take some time. I definitely see long term though that this thing is going places. So
my original plan was that it was going to hit 50 cents at some point in time above within the next couple weeks, given that this SNL BS is going on. Whether or not that actually has anything to do with it remains to be seen, or it's just being used as a talk point and catalyst. But I had expected it to potentially get up to 65 cents. And if it did that and above and beyond that, then this thing would have gone up pretty high or more than 80 cents. And then there would have been a pretty good sell off, or it could have even gone all the way to $1.
I think a good thing to remember is like that first big run up that we had, the 44 cents. I think like that was partly due to the fact that there was like a couple platforms that started like offering Doge for trading.
Increased volume,
yeah. So like this is kind of similar, where eToro's just announced that they're doing it, and then somebody else did too. I think it's just the same thing. Like they have to buy. So this is like institution fueled, but also at the same time, like since it's the meme and it's part of pop culture, because it's like going up in price, then you get all this like media coverage of it as well at the same time, which draws retail in.
I read some basketball team is going to be taking Doge for their game tickets now.
Yes.
I think it was the Oakland A's or the Athletics, one of the two baseball clubs. I don't know which one, but I know it starts with an A.
Was that
Those are the same club.
Basketball? Okay.
Since the hot dog kind of cooled down here, can somebody check?
Push to talk. What do you want us to check?
Going once, going twice. Push to talk.
I got my coffee,
All right,
by
new
the way.
person.
I'm back.
Oh, hey, Rick, just in time.
I got a big
Rick's a whale.
triple shot cappuccino.
Way to go.
Missed you.
Rick, what were you doing? I think you were just dumping to that 49-cent mark.
No, dude, I wish I had that kind of money, honestly. I wish I had that kind of pull in the market.
Hey, Rick, are you still holding that leverage trade on Doge?
Pardon?
You still have that leverage trade on Doge, or you already closed out?
I have closed half of it, up around the... I'll show you where. So can you see my screen? When we made this lower high here, I was like, okay, that sort of indicates a bit of a downtrend. I'm gonna, sell half here. So I've sold half of that position, and the rest is like, just waiting to see what happens. The fact that we're getting higher lows is still giving me confidence that, the rest is gonna eventually go into profit, and, hopefully that second portion of my position can be sold higher. If not, I am prepared to maybe sell it down here, like if it fails to go up. Like if we get a reversal, like at this point, then yeah, the second bag I'll have to sell somewhere down here. And then my average sell position will be somewhere in the middle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's pretty
So
cool, man.
Splits the difference, yeah. Yeah. So that's basically how you sell when you don't know where the top is. Like you just ease out of the position. That's not to say that I'm not going to buy again today. Like if there's a nice dip, I'll probably get into a similar position today, probably even heavier, to be honest. So we'll see. We'll see. I'd like to see some golden crosses on like the higher time frame. Oh, sorry. Let's see. See how we've just had this sell cross here? I want to see a buy cross come through again before I think about getting back in. So at the moment, I'm sort of letting that 50% bag do what it needs to do, and yeah, see how it goes. What were you going to say? Sorry.
I was going to ask you if you could do TA on Ethereum now with that head and shoulders thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you care to look at it real quick.
Yeah, it does look like a head and shoulders. So left shoulder, head, right shoulder. The neckline to the head and shoulders is something like this. So this head and shoulders isn't valid yet as a head and shoulders until you get that. That point there is where the head and shoulders comes into effect. So it's not a confirmed head and shoulders just yet. So this could still, rally up, and, it would completely invalidate the head and shoulders theory. But yeah, it is starting to look like a head and shoulders, which is a reversal pattern. So the trend might change. But yeah, keep an eye on it. We haven't had a sell signal yet on the 1 hour chart for Ethereum. 4 hour chart, definitely not. 15-minute, yeah, there has been a sell signal that's trying to print, but they don't last long. They don't last, the sells don't last that long.
Can I ask
Nor
you?
do the buys. The signals, yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yep, go ahead.
I was going to ask you, what's the difference between like a triple peak and a head and shoulders? So the triple peak would be like each peak is level?
Equal? Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I'll show you that. Here's just a very basic explanation. So when the price comes up, you get a high, you get a retracement, and then another high, and then you hit the top. You come down, but then you fail to make a higher high. That's a...
Sorry, Rick, I can't see
That's
anything.
a head and shoulders.
How can I find
Are you on my stream? Yep. Crypto down under with spaces. Crypto down under. Is someone able to drop that link for him in the
Yeah,
Discord
I'll be happy to do that if you'll tell me your Discord screen name.
Yep. Rick. R-I-C-K.
No, yeah, I mean, the guy who's asking.
The guy asking. Okay, gotcha, sorry. The coffee hasn't kicked in yet.
I can put it in general. I have it. That was the last
Who's
thing
asking?
I
And
copied.
I'll just text it to you right now. What's your
So
screen name?
I think it's Darwin, but I think I changed my name to like Fortuna Investment or something like that.
Okay, let me check it out. Hold on.
It's in Crypto Talk as well. I put it in there earlier.
Okay, so this is the head and shoulders, and you said what happens when it's all equal, when it's a so that's called a triple top, or you might get something like this, like where it hits resistance, comes down, has another go at it, but gets rejected again, comes down, makes a higher low, comes back up, maybe gets rejected a third time. This is called an ascending triangle. Let me just get, I'll use the dotted line, that's cool. So it's when you get higher lows. I'm just going to move this across. Oh, it won't let me go across. Okay. It's when you get... Let me just delete that. I'll bring this across just so we can fit it all onto one screen. Okay. Ascending triangle is a bullish continuation pattern, generally. So it looks like this. You get a line of resistance, which is the purple line, and you get this ascending trend line as support, which is this dotted line. The breakout point is expected to be here on this pattern, and you enter the trade when you break through the purple line, through the top line. So that's what a triple top is. It just means that the price is returning to test that resistance until it breaks it down, and and the wall gets eaten up. So this basically this is similar to this, except the second approach failed completely, and it just went down like it's a bearish pattern.
It's a lower high. Gotcha.
Yeah. So this is a reversal pattern, and this is a continuation pattern.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Can you
That's so helpful. I got a question about macro trends, Rick.
So we had a question Wait, hold on. We had a question right before that.
Yeah, there's someone with a quiet mic. Can you speak up a bit, please?
My bad.
The other guy. No, it's all right, man.
Could you please explain the Fibonacci?
Yep, I can. I actually should have put one on the on Doge. I'll just do it real quick for you. Basically, the Fibonacci is the third tool down from the top on the left-hand column in TradingView. Click the little side arrow to open up the toolbox, and it's right in the middle. It's called Fib Retracement. Click on that. The way you use it is you pick the very top of the recent high, and then you draw it down to the lowest low after that. So the big, like the lowest part of the pullback, which is down here. You just line it up, and that gives you lines of support and resistance, or retracement levels to look at. I'm just going to delete some of these lines so that you can see it better. And maybe I'll turn off the EMA cross again.
It can.
So there you go, support. There's sometimes the price will perform outside of the fib levels, like here, like it bounced in the middle of nowhere. Same with here. But yeah, it's on the lower time frames. It's usually not as significant, I guess, but it doesn't hurt to draw it in just to sort of see and get an idea of where there might be resistance or supports. It definitely works a lot better on higher time frames, like the 1 hour or the 4 hour chart. Looking for more significant highs and lows. Yeah, no worries. And who was asking a question after him?
Yeah, so I was just wondering, Rick. I heard you a little bit talking about macroeconomic trends and how that's affecting the overall crypto market, and how the crypto market itself is affecting overall macro trends. I don't know if it was in the wee hours of the morning, or if it was, I think it was in the wee hours of the morning. But I'm just kind of like fascinated by this whole concept of the market cap of gold being $8 trillion, and then the market cap of crypto being around 2. And that's going to meet somewhere in the middle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's 11.2?
Yeah. Gold is 11.2 trillion.
Okay, so that's higher than I thought.
Yeah.
But with crypto at 2 trillion, at some point that's going to meet in the middle, do you think? Or do you think people are going to flee gold for other assets, like crypto?
Yep. You know how people abandon horse and cart for cars? Yeah. Similar kind of thing. The new technology comes through, people will migrate across eventually. That's the theory. So Bitcoin or crypto is like digital gold. We're moving into we're basically in a digital age now. So physical commodities, they're still relevant. Like gold's still very much, like obviously it's $11 trillion. It's still like, the biggest market cap commodity or, asset class. But yeah, crypto's certainly closing that gap. And that's why you see it climbing up, I'll just open Coin Market Cap, which actually shows the total market cap of the crypto market. It's 2.2 trillion right now. Apple's 2.1 trillion. So crypto sits between Apple and gold right now. So it's second place.
So what's going to happen, Rick, in your view, and in your macroeconomic view of, the history of civilization? So we had some like sea change moments, right? Where I don't know what, like the round
newspaper to
paper.
Think of,
then you had like the round stone
Internet.
wheel, then the Gutenberg press, and then like the Industrial Revolution, then like the internet, right? And so it's all these sea change moments are happening sooner, closer together, right? So then you have 100%. This whole crypto revolution where the market cap of crypto is going to surpass on the planet the market cap of gold. Is that a problem
I can see that
for the planet?
I can see that happening. I don't think so, honestly, because crypto is a much fairer system than any kind of monetary system we've ever had in history. Monetary systems and currencies are usually controlled by a central body, Federal Reserve, a board of human beings. Like, it's controlled by people,
like the privileged
people are. Yeah, that's right. And they're, they're subject to greed and, that kind of thing, and corruption. So the good thing about crypto is it's decentralized. There is no trust element because there's no central body. There's no person behind Bitcoin. It's just an algorithm. Like, it's maths. Maths is perfect compared to humans, compared to human decision making, and it's free of greed and corruption. So,
but in your mind, do you think that there's any issues with the maths when you get
maths?
When you get the market cap of cryptos eclipsing all of these other what used to be standard bearers,
Yep.
Because you got the Warren Buffetts and the Bill Gates of the world who are laughing, 3 or 4 years ago about Bitcoin, or 10 years ago about Bitcoin, or whatever. I don't think they're laughing now. I think they're dumping some gold and they're putting some of it into crypto.
That's right. And it's just like the tycoons of the horse and cart era, like the people that owned business, like they were making a hell of a lot of money through that industry. They were laughing at the automobile industry, like that was just starting up, or just like the traditional media, like newspaper, print media. They were looking at the internet as like just a fad, like it's just something that computer nerds are going to be interested in, and it's not going to, exactly, like a flash in the pan type thing. But it's just all up to the global population, like what's like where the adoption, exactly, global adoption,
acceptance.
So we're heading that way. Like, cryptocurrency is getting its. I can hear myself. I'm like
I heard
getting
that too.
Yeah, there we go. All good.
Yeah.
So it's the more and more that it gets established around the world, like you're just going to see more and more adoption, like Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, Tesla, like, all these companies are, opening their eyes to like cryptocurrency as a whole.
What's really interesting is that when I started considering this issue of market cap of gold becoming equal or less than the market cap of crypto, I kind of thought, well, how long should that take, or how long will that take? And I thought, I don't know, could be 6 weeks or months or years or 20 years or so. But then all of a sudden, it looks like it's going to be way quicker than that. Absolutely, you may. So just to wrap it all up, it's happening way quicker. The acceptance is happening way quicker. People are not worried about whether or not this will be a good way to transact. I think they're ready to go. And there's a few issues to work out, like that spread of the fluctuating currency. The vendors have to get paid, and people who are paying need to be fairly, charged for whatever they're purchasing. But it's pretty amazing. The acceptance seems like it's going to turn on its heel and just say everybody's ready to do it.
Sure. So, by the way, like if you look at this list, this leaderboard, you can think of that as like the leading companies, like the global economy, right? crypto isn't creating new wealth, it's just transferring wealth out of these companies that are holding huge reserves of, you know, capital. Like when they start investing it, they're sort of like, it's a shift in like wealth around the globe. So that's what
Kinda
markets
like when
do.
we buy the dips?
It's just, yeah, exactly. Like it's just all transfer of wealth. It's what the stock market does as well. Everyone participates in the market. and
Great
it's just
answer. Thank you very
shifts of
much
wealth.
for your
Yeah.
thoughts.
No worries.
I wanted to say something.
Sure.
Go ahead, dude. Push to talk, dude.
Push to talk. Yeah.
In Germany, inflation.
You got to hold it down.
They just after the inflation, they just
Yeah, you got to make sure you're holding the button down, dude.
Sorry, man, you're cutting out.
I'm holding the button. I don't understand.
Now we can hear you.
Yeah, you got it. Go ahead.